Good afternoon, everybody, and good afternoon, and welcome to the Back to School podcast. This is the second week that we're having this segment, everybody. As we know, all our boys and girls are heading back to school tomorrow in Palm Beach County, and those who have headed back to school last week, I commend you all. I pray that you all had a wonderful and blessed first week for those who went back to school last week. Um, the subject matter of the Back to School podcast is talk to everybody who are parents, guardians, children, staff, teachers, everybody that's included. So this series is going to go on for the next few weeks. Last week we talked about ready for a new school year. Today we're going to talk about the mental health aspect in our parents, our children, and I'm going to add teachers, administration, and staff as well. So we have 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. So we have 5 weeks left of the Back to School podcast, everyone. So make sure you all tune in. Make sure you all tune in. I'm just giving myself a few minutes as I get started. All right, it's right at 2 o'clock. Let's get it. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Get it. A lot of y'all love this podcast. Make sure you tune in the next 5 weeks to listen to the rest of the segments. Just to let you know, next Sunday, I'm gonna be a little later coming on because I gotta head down to Lauderdale to go see my brother. So I'll be a little bit later next Sunday, preferably the latest. It'll be probably about 6 o'clock next Sunday. But other than that, after that, I'll be coming on at 2 p.m. moving forward. But next Sunday, I have to head down there. We'll see him. It's been about a month and a half since I've seen him. So that's what I'll be next Sunday. So don't expect me to be on not tomorrow, Lord Jesus. Next Sunday at 2 p.m. I'll be on at 6 p.m. next Sunday to do week 3 of the Back to School podcast. Just want to make you aware of that. So mark that down if you've been really actively looking for this podcast. All right. But if any changes need to be made prior to next Sunday, I'll let you all know and post it on Facebook. All right. So let's get to this conversation. Mental health matters. So the objective that we're talking about today is raising awareness about mental health. In the comment section, how many know about mental health? You like, Trish, really? Some people don't know about mental health. Some people don't have the understanding. I know we talked about mental health, mental illness during the pandemic. It's like more people became more keen to that vocabulary because we were on lockdown and we couldn't do anything. So we had to hear about mental health and mental illness and all these different factors, self-love, self-worth, all these different factors. So raising awareness about your mental health. Parents, take care of yourself. I know many of you have been running around to the back to school bashes that's been going on in the communities. I know a lot of you have been doing a lot of school shopping. A lot of you have been meeting the two teachers, getting adjusted to the schedule for your babies going back to school and putting them on a bedtime regimen, making sure they have food. And a lot of parents are stressed out because their finances is not where they need to be, and they need all that extra help and support to make sure their selves and the kids have a great first day of school. And many parents are really going through a hard time trying to pull it together to make sure their kids have a good, successful school year. I can go back and remember when there was times when I and my spouse had trying to get it together for our kids. And thanks to the resources that were out in the community, the Palm Beach County Back to School Batch, I've been to them. I've been to the events that Bridges at Riviera Beach had. And many are asking, what is Bridges at Riviera? Bridges of Riviera Beach is a nonprofit organization that targets the ages 0 to 8 years old. They work with moms, children, and dads. Then the dad's aspect didn't come on till later on down the line, where they're helping out fathers as well as mothers and babies from 0 to 8 years old, basically giving you an outlet to really benefit from the services they have. Triple P to help you, with your child and how to develop different parenting skills to help you manage your child's different behavior. Okay. I took a part in the Triple P for teenagers. I didn't do the Triple P for the young kids because mine had pretty much aged out of that bracket at that time. But I was the ambassador. It was me and about 5 others, the ambassador of Riviera Beach, And what the ambassadors does is inform people about the information that Riviera Beach has to offer. And Riviera Beach Bridges has to offer. And not just Riviera Beach Bridges, any of the bridges. And we were an outlet at the time just to share and encourage people to do that. My presence was also facilitating the Facebook page for Bridges at Riviera Beach. I did that for about 3.5 years, me and another young lady. And then she went on to venture something else, and then me and another young lady teamed on, and then I stepped away to really pursue what I needed to pursue, and that's ministry. Okay. And I started doing that, and I've been doing this now going on 6 years. 7, give or take. I've been doing this for 7 years, and it was a life changer. It was scary at first, just me, myself, and I. But once I got accustomed of how to set my routine on what I needed to do to pursue this, ladies and gentlemen, I went forward and I didn't look back. I didn't look back because I know there was more for me to pursue for myself. Okay. So again, I was a parent who was out in the community getting all the resources. I've been to the Lake Park back to school bash. I done went to majority of the back to school bashes that they had because I was a mother that was determined to make sure my kids had. And then they had back to school bashes at my kids' elementary school at the time. Again, I was a parent that was out there in the community making sure my kids had, make sure they had school supplies, make sure they had uniforms, make sure they had all the essentials. And I was not ashamed because I know I needed it. And I needed it because it was important. They were giving out stuff for the kids at the Washington Elementary School. They were giving out things for them at the Renaissance Charter School. Things would happen in the city of Riviera Beach. They had one time they had a shoe giveaway at Lake Park of the church. I went there, took myself there, waiting that line, got my kids some shoes. They had another shoe event that happened in Don Calloway a few years ago. Took my kids out there and got them some shoes. The thing about it is, ladies and gentlemen, when I do things for my children, I do it because I know they need it. And then the information that I get, I share with other people. That's why they call me 211, the queen of Facebook, because I share the resources in the community. Now I can sit back and look like, dog, I started this. I am the mastermind on this. I say this because many people didn't realize this stuff until I came in the picture, but people just overlooked me anyway. But I moved on from that. And you like, Trish, what do you mean overlooked? People wrote me off because I didn't want on to something bigger and better. I had to do what was best for me at the end of the day. And I'm glad that I did what was best for me because a lot of people didn't know about sharing resources and stuff. Because the information that I was giving will help people with little to no income. And the reason why I did that, because I was in that bracket where I needed resources, I needed help, I need these things to make sure my kids have a successful school year. You want to take your kids out to events. I did the resource and found that information. Me, yours, most importantly, remarkable, queen of inspiration. That person. And do I expect anybody to congratulate me? No, baby. I congratulate myself. The point I want to get across to you all is that mental health, it triggers something inside of your emotions. And when it triggers something inside of your emotions, you begin to really filter some stuff. And what I mean is that you start to take away all that negative stuff you're thinking and start looking at the good situation. If somebody texts you, okay, and somebody get on the phone and ask you, oh, you need this and that, you better say yes. Yes. Groceries, clothes, shoes, it fits your baby, whatever that may look like. Take it. It's a blessing. Because you never know when you need it. All right? So parents, take care of your mental health. Children, take care of your mental health as well because you're heading back into a brick and mortar. And from what I was hearing on the news, that a lot of the kids have kind of dropped out of the brick and mortar and kind of went to private schools or homeschool. I'm going to tell you something about homeschool. Okay? Homeschool is a different world. Many of you who are new to the homeschool outlet, I want to talk to you. I've been doing homeschool now. This will be going on 4 years for me. Okay. And what I found is that homeschool is a different environment. So you have two different types of homeschools. Okay. You have the one where the child goes on live classes with classmates or her classmates, and they engage. You talk to the teacher grades the assignments, the kids have lessons they have to do and get it done in that time frame. They do have to take the state testing and everything that they need to take in order to go on to the next grade. In my case, I had my son who was having a whole lot of trouble in school dealing with his ADHD and other things that he was dealing with. And I had to come to a point that I needed to homeschool him because I was not getting the help and the support that I needed from inside the school system. I went to meetings with these folks. They did examinations on this young man. They did all kind of things, and there was no help and support. They ended up changing teachers. The principal wasn't supportive no more. The people for ESE, all they wanted to do is just look at the data and find out why he's not doing the work. My son is very smart, by the way, but he struggles with that. He needs to be challenged, and many people have told me he needs to be challenged. And he still deals with his mental health, but he's in a state now where he's homeschooled, and I can monitor him, and he can get his assignments done, and he's getting help moving forward. Okay. And not only that, he went from Digital Academy. He was having trouble with that because it became overwhelming to him. And the criteria and the rules changed in there. So he had to be sent. I had ended up putting him in Florida Virtual, which was more convenient. He can look at the live classes. He can do his work at his own pace. And the difference between Florida Virtual School and Digital Academy is that you're taking state tests. And with Florida Virtual, your student is doing their work in their own place. You have a conversation with the teacher once a month. They do their DBA, which is discussion-based assessment. Basically, they go over the content that the child had did in those assignments that was assigned to him and her, and then they go on and they can get on for the virtual school. They ask the kids that had work assignments done by Friday. If they need a little time, they give them to Sunday 11:59 p.m. to get it done for that week. And what I'm saying is, if your child has a 504 plan or a IEP, be that advocate for that child. Because parents can put their kids in private school, charter school, or even homeschool. And homeschool worked for me because I see what he does. I pay attention because I am a learning coach. I was a learning coach at Digital Academy, and I'm still his home educator at home, making sure he gets his stuff done. Why? Because it's important. He needs that structure. He needs that understanding of what this really means for him. I have another child that is a senior at homeschooling. She was struggling with some health issues, and she needed to be in home so that way if she have any problems, she's being close at home, so I don't have to keep going back to the school picking her up. And the teacher at the high school seen there was something wrong with my child. I saw it, but I personally didn't know what to do, and I didn't know the resources that was provided for me to do it. But when I got on the phone with the guidance counselor at the high school, she explained to me the different steps that I had to take as a parent to get this thing done. Okay? And what I had to do is get all the information, withdraw from the school. Then the parent, I'm telling you, if you want to put your child in homeschool, you have to be the one that withdraw them. Okay? If you're going through Florida Virtual. And if you're going through regular homeschool, you have to have the school to do it. And with the elementary schools have to do it. You can't do it on your own. You want to make sure you have updated address. You want to make sure you have their updated immunization records, because they do check for that. Make sure you have all your documentations. Utility bills, anything with your proof of address on there. So that way it help you with the process and it gets you school. And also too, some of the home schools provide supplies like school supplies and even a loaner laptop or even a loaner printer. I had all the essentials because I needed that for my children. Okay. Now, for those of you who are homeschooling, I'm going to get back to the narrative of everything. Can I wrap it up? Because I do have a time frame on this podcast here, everyone. When you are homeschooling that doesn't provide those resources, I recommend going on Amazon or going on Walmart site. They have some very inexpensive laptops, but I know everybody's financial situation is different. I get it. Even some of the pawn shops have it. Go to the pawn shop and get it, like something that has enough gigs, Windows. That way your child can use it just for that. All right, let's get into it, everybody. So, normalizing conversation and emotional wellness. Having these conversations not only will benefit you, but it'll help you become more aware of what's going on with your students, parents, teachers, and administration. They're all rambling and scrambling trying to get this stuff together. Tomorrow's the first day of school, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not easy for a lot of parents to adjust. It's not easy for the children to adjust. It's not easy for anybody to adjust. But take time, pause, and breathe. All right. The chaos starts tomorrow, and it's probably starting today because a lot of parents are running around today at getting last minute school shopping. And then they also have school supplies they will get from the teachers when the students go to school tomorrow. Sharing resources for family. And I just talked about it. That's crazy. Sharing resources for family. Again, don't be a gatekeeper. Share that information with everybody. Share that information with people that you know that needs the information. Because again, you just don't know what somebody may be going through. I'm telling you, we have to be the ones out there because everybody can't see and help everybody. If you know somebody, you got a book bag, some school supplies, some shoes and clothes that your child has outgrown, hand-me-downs are taken. Nobody should be ashamed of that because you wash it, clean it real good, bless the other child. They'll look good for school. Shoes, wipe that thing down, scrub that thing real good, nice pair of socks, boom, bam, boom. They're good to go. All right. But I want to get back to the next part of this, normalizing conversations around emotional wellness. Having these conversations every single day, having these conversations to really understand what that looks like. All right. So let's get to the next part of it. Hold on. All right, everybody, get to it. All right. So having those conversations every day or even weekly depends on how your schedule is. All right, let's get to it because again, I'm looking at this clock here and this live doesn't last that long. So, agenda. Recognize signs of stress. Recognize the signs of stress are very important. You can recognize stress. You can be aggravated, frustrated, annoyed, overwhelmed. Everything part, a complete part of it. Anxiety in children and teens. Those are things you have to watch. If your child is anxious about something and is bothering them, have those conversations because you never know. I've had those conversations with my own kids, and I'm telling you, it blew my mind. Parent burnout. Parents are burned out. Even the first day of school, even the first week, because they don't have all the answers and they need that extra help and support. See, when you pile things, and I want to speak to the educators and teachers for a moment. I know many of you are parents and many of you may not be parents, depends on what your role may be. Parents are burned out. They can't rescue or save if they can't save themselves. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. They are burnt out. They can't save situations when they can't save themselves. So remember that. Self-care for the whole family. Take some time, shut it down, find something, watch a movie, go out to the park, do something that helps you as a family. When to seek professional help, when it becomes overwhelming, when it becomes a little too much that you need that extra support and you need somebody to reground you and redirect you. So I'm going to get to the last point. How do you create a safe space for your child to express their feelings? It starts at home. And if it's not at home, go somewhere where you can have those conversations like son and daughter, how was your day? Vice versa. No, I'm not using it like a TV show. These are the kind of conversations you got to have. And with teenagers, it's even harder because they don't like to vocalize a lot of stuff that they go through. Okay. They don't like to vocalize the stuff they go through. They like to shut it in. Boys specifically don't like to open up. But when you take them out, go get them something to eat, do something fun, they begin to open up. My son will be 13 next month. I mean, every son is different. Some sons just don't open up. You hear from somebody else before you hear from your own child. And that's a hard thing as a parent to even to deal with. Even with daughters too, a lot of them can be very secretive. You just never know what they're going through behind the scenes. So this is why you pay attention to their body language and signs. Someone can be angry, frustrating, whatever it is, saying you're being nosy, you're prying in my door. But if you're not that parent that gets involved in your child's life and get down to find out what's really going on with them, you don't know. You don't want to wait till it's too late. You want to get all up in it. Now they can get mad, this and that, and the third. And some kids are violent. Well, a lot of them have to be sent away because of whatever they're dealing with. Again, every child is different. Every child is structured differently. So what I want to say to you all today is that take care of your mental health. Take care of yourself. Take care of your well-being. Take care of everything that needs to be taken care of in this school year, and manage these things accordingly, ladies and gentlemen. Don't hold on to them. Don't feel as if you can fix everything. You can't fix everything if you can't fix yourself. And what I found out is that even though the teachers have all these requirements and demand, don't kill yourself trying to please these people, because you never will. And teachers, don't overwork yourself, because again, you can't please the parents as well, because you never will. All right, that's my time, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you back here on next Sunday at 6 p.m. Have a blessed and a safe school year.